This podcast is a production of Unfiltered Studios. If you would like to know more about joining Unfiltered Studios, please visit our website at unfpod.com for more information.
Welcome to this episode of the KJandAPodcast. My name is Kevin and I am the K.
My name's Jay the Gray.
He's still Jay the Gray, people. He died being the Gray. He's going to come back as the White. That's what's going to happen.
I think I might already be kind of there.
Well, you can't be both.
Okay. I don't want to wear all white clothing, though.
I don't want to take the Gray when you leave it behind.
To be the brown. Radagast was pretty cool. These are Ruskable rabbits.
It's Kevin the Green. There we go.
All right. Hey.
Ooh, I wish I was the White.
It's better than being one of the blues, right? Never saw those guys. Never.
I was just making a joke about being envious. That's it. I guess that fell short. Damn it. Anyways, this episode, we are finishing up our talk on Secret Level, the 15 episode Jiggity Jank on Amazon Prime. And
yes.
You know, I'm still so shocked about that Pac-Man thing. I really am.
Okay, like, are you shocked about the dark turn they made, or that they're doing a Shadow Labyrinth, which is the continuation of that and Pac-Man itself?
The fact that they're continuing it, because I thought it was just like, oh, some, artsy guy finally got his idea through, for a very loosely based on Pac-Man thing, because it was pretty dark.
It was hella dark.
It was hella dark, and it was, I think it was a really fucking interesting take, but then but they're actually doing things with it. Like I never thought that they would do something like that. Like, you're telling me fucking Namco is like, yeah, okay, go ahead and turn my moneymaker that I've had since the 80s into a dark, ill-fated story of pain and regret and, slavery and whatever the fuck. Like, come on.
Yeah, it was a game about a circle that ate ghosts and pellets in a maze.
Yeah. There doesn't even need to be a story, but they gave you the 2 seconds in between for no reason. Like, oh, Pac-Man meets Miss Pac-Man.
And then we had a lot of Miss Pac-Man games, and I was like, okay, what's the difference between Pac-Man and Miss Pac-Man?
It's literally the same thing.
Bow.
Well, we already did Wayne's World, so we can't talk about that. Well, you see, Mrs. Pac-Man has a little bow on top of her head.
Literally all it is.
What about Pac-Man Jr.? With his little hat?
Okay, hat.
He was smaller and he had a hat.
Yeah, just like Diddy Kong is small Donkey Kong.
Yeah, he's just tiny Donkey Kong with a hat and a vest.
Yeah.
Or was it? It wasn't a vest. It was just a tiny shirt.
Tiny shirt, ball cap.
And that makes me think of the Super Mario Brothers movie.
Ooh.
He's like, everybody be quiet, especially you, Diddy. Sorry.
Maybe the same thing could be said about the early versions of Luigi and Mario. Basically the same fucking character, but one's green, one's red.
All right, this is gonna totally random, but I forgot to bring it up earlier. And I will tell you, I finally watched the Barbie movie today.
That shit was crazy.
That shit was so funny. That shit was so good.
And full of existential crises.
Yes,
crises.
But I was so they broke that fourth wall so good.
Hard.
And when they're in she's like it's okay, you don't have to be beautiful, and then cuts out and it's this is to the producers of the Barbie movie. This is not excluding Margot Robbie. What the fuck?
Goddamn.
Anyways, I'm sorry. I just wanted to say I watched that today and it cracked my shit up.
It's so good though.
It finally came out on Netflix.
I was not expecting it to be that good.
Yeah, me
but
neither.
Really
had low expectations, but everyone had kept talking about it, and I'm like, fine.
Yep.
Let's watch it. Anyways, so number one on us today is the fourth episode, Unreal Tournament Zan.
Yeah, that shit was hard too.
It was, that's like one of the only ones in this whole thing that actually tells a full-fledged story.
And it does it really well for,
yeah.
It's what, like 19 minutes, I think?
Yeah, that one was a really long one. And it like tells the story of, I guess, this robot Zan that was just a mining robot. And somehow he like rebooted right before they got on the mining planet where like robots were being treated like shit.
Yeah, he was malfunctioning, and then the guys started beating on him. And I guess during his reboot and the guy beating on him, it just kind of jumbled things.
Yeah, because he gets up and green eye instead of red, and he's like, the fuck is happening? You know?
Like he sees his buddies getting like crushed in other machines, blown apart by the guy who smacked him around.
Yeah, and then he's like, hey, you better get up. Well, at least... And the one is like crawling, and he's like, "Oh, at least you ain't got to work anymore," and like kills the robot. Yeah, so, now, granted, from a human perspective, they did not make robots to be.
No,
you know,
they were like, tools.
Yeah, they were tools. They were not made to be humans and have feelings and emotions in any way. So it's not like they were doing it to be cruel. Because I'm pretty sure if they made them and they had emotions.
I don't know. I feel like
well, actually, maybe they wouldn't because I mean there is lots of examples of people being pieces of shit to
like the dude who was just being a dick just to be a dick, like beating on Zan at the beginning just because he wasn't rebooting or wasn't opening like all the other bots.
Enough. Yeah.
So I'm like, bro, chill the fuck out. Oh yeah, we're already behind. Fuck them. Just get out of the way. Crush the other bot right in the friggin' mining machine. I'm like, bro, damn.
Like you're wrecking company property, sir.
Yeah,
you're wrecking company property.
He was doing it with a fucking smile on his face every time too. Like,
and I like that they brought in Unreal Tournament in a way that actually was like, oh, it's not just people running around in random places shooting each other. Like the field formed itself every time, and then but they had like the announcer like, ooh, headshot, like all
First
that shit
blood.
that you're used to. First blood. Yeah.
Double kill. Rampage.
Yeah. I remember back in the day, before the old interwebs, there used to be computer like gaming places where you could go in and rent a computer and they were all LAN connected.
Oh, the gaming cafes?
Yeah, gaming cafes. And I went to it one time with a bunch of friends, and it was like we spent like 3 or 4 hours there just playing Unreal Tournament, playing the original Warcraft that was like strategy and shit against each other. That shit was so fun, like so stupid fun. I would play. They need to make another good Warcraft. That's what they fucking need. Not World of Warcraft. I'm talking like the strategy Warcraft game. That shit was fun.
Okay.
Anyways.
But no, yeah. Zan had a great story to start with, but after they killed that one miner, actually they killed both miners. Even though the other guy was like cool, and the other guy was a dick.
He killed all of them, and then that's why they went to the tournament.
Yep. But all it took was one match for them to learn, and Zan learned. Like, all right, I know your strategy now. He was like, all right, I'll send out a match. Come back in on the second match. Ball these motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Until they got to the last group, which I thought was awesome, going against the elite guard. Meanwhile, the freaking Leandri lady was all like, look, man, I need them to die, but not die fast.
Yeah, they need to put on a show.
Like, and that's where she fucked up.
Yeah.
That's where she fucked up.
She also fucked up saying like, oh, well, I'm going to go out there and talk to them personally myself. I'm like, motherfucker controls the computers and like just those two places and squish everyone around her until it's just her. And then he like adjusts the plate so she falls on her knees. And he's like, who's the king now, bitch?
Watch rebellion.
Yeah. Zan!
I'm like, I honestly feel like the sentiment of this episode kind of goes with the landscape that we're going into now.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Rebel.
Like, we don't have to sit here and let Elon Musk be like, I'm gonna throw my money at everybody and get what I want. I got Trump to be president. I can take your votes. I can stop other people from getting into power because now I'm at like $4 billion.
Did you hear that he fucking like they were about to pass a bill and Elon Musk posted this shouldn't pass, and it immediately was like it was approved by most of them, and then that was it.
And the funny part is, it was Republicans that were backing that bill.
Yeah,
and he's the one who's like, if you go with this bill, I will put my money against the people running to the people that are running against you next time.
Yeah.
So literally, he doesn't care who he backs as long as he gets what he wants. That's a problem.
That's insanity, absolute insanity.
So again,
but like
rebellion.
It would have to be literally everyone though. Like you can't. That's why you can't vote for independent because they're never going to win.
Unfortunate.
Yeah, it is unfortunate.
But it is what it is.
What it should be. No, I can't get into this.
Let's not.
Sorry.
Like I said, it just the sentiment of this episode goes with the landscape. Let's leave it at that. Let's leave it at that.
All right. So the next one is episode 7 because we already did 5 and 6, which is Warhammer and Pac-Man.
Yep. So Crossfire.
7. Honestly, when I heard Crossfire, my first thought was like the
you'll get caught up in the crossfire. Crossfire. Get into it. Like, I don't know why, but like a few weeks ago, like it was just in my head, and it was before I even watched this episode, and I was just like, why is it in my head,
dude?
This game was it has no.
I bought that fucking game. I had that game too.
I would not get that game only because I was like, I'm going to lose all these little fucking ball bearings, and I will never find them again.
And you know what happened?
You lost all those.
All the ball bearings. You're like, you can't play Crossfire with 6 of these.
No. You're like, you might as well.
It was like metal ball bearing, hungry hippos. That's what it was.
And you had to shoot these pieces across the board to get places. Apparently, this was not that. This is actually
there was a little star ball, and there was a triangle ball, and you had to get it into the other person's thing.
Exactly. So
it was fun. Anyways, so I didn't even know that there was an actual Crossfire. I assume it's a mercenary game sort of deal. But I don't know.
I feel like the whole perspective is that no one saw themselves as the bad guy.
Yeah, both sides were like, we're the good guys, right? Like, it's okay, we're the good guys. And both sides were being like, we're the good guys.
So one side has this guy with case, and inside this case apparently is something that could utterly destroy the world.
Yeah.
So we have
only destroys the world if it gets out into public knowledge or something.
Right. And he's got buyers set up or rebellious people who are going to get this case. And you have another team that is going after the guy, and they're like, yeah, we're not the bad guys, but the moment that guy locked that case to his arm, he became a combatant.
Yeah.
So he's got to get taken out too. Everybody on their side is the bad guy. We're not the bad guys. So it becomes basically who's going to get the guy with the case? Who's going to hold on to him? So it's something sniper fire, handguns, hand-to-hand combat. And
then it was like back and forth, like they would be like, oh, we finally got him. Oh, they tricked us. And then you go to them, and it cuts the other guy, and they're like, oh, we finally got him. Oh, they tricked us again.
It was a good back and forth. And I mean, they had a lot of good
the fight scenes were fun.
Yeah, I think the last fight scene between a guy named Cross and I think the guy named Fitz.
Yeah.
It's probably one of the best like hand-to-hand combat scene in the whole episode.
It really did a good job of making you feel like there was a way deeper story that you wanted to know.
Yeah.
With what they were like talking about and what's going on. Because like they were in a city that essentially was like dead zone.
Abandoned. Yeah, it was abandoned because of this big tropical storm that was making landfall.
Yeah, but I mean, no one was even in buildings. Like they were going in buildings and shit. There was no one.
I think the one team was in an actual building that was still under construction for the most part.
Yeah, because part of it like got ripped off or whatever the fuck.
Mm-hmm.
Blew their cover.
So I mean, there really wasn't much to it besides just getting the case. And yeah, the main team that we started with gave up the case, but kept the guy who was attached to said case. And apparently, he only bought them to get him to this other party safely. Not the case, just him.
Honestly, now that I think about it, like this sort of thing, they had Love, Death, and Robots, and there was that other one. What was it called? Something Studios.
Oh, Oak Studios?
Yeah, Oat Studios. I feel like all of these are just like pilots that they were trying to get made, and then instead they're just like, fuck it, we'll make it into call it a series. And then like maybe someone will pick it up if we make it into a little series and it catches someone's eye.
I mean, but if you look at it like, so you have O Studios, you have Secret Level, you have Love, Death, and Robots, but you also had Halo Legends, which is a bunch of shorts, basically an anthology series, but all based in the Halo universe.
Yeah.
That and The Matrix had an anthology series.
Yeah, that was the anime one.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. I watched all those, and and it's not that I don't enjoy it, because I do love that I can like wrap up a quick show, like 10, 15 minutes, and I feel like I got a little bit of a story sometimes, most of the time.
But you would like to see some like continuation or something.
But there are some where I watch them, I'm like, oh, that would be really cool if they like kept that going, or I'd like to see the backstory to this. I'd like to see where this one was going. But I feel like Crossfire, like I'm not usually into that like FBI espionage bullshit. But this could have a good, like,
yeah. I think if they had done something, maybe like a prequel to this, kind of lead us into the situation, and then something to follow up, like what happened with the case, what happened with the guy that they delivered to this mercenary group or whatever, whoever he was in bed with.
Yeah,
like what would have happened? I can see that.
Because dude was totally fucked too at the end of it.
Unless they do something like they do with Pac-Man, and it becomes a part of a later game.
But he was such an asshole. Like I just want to.
Oh yeah, fuck that guy.
Like that, he was such a dick. Like get the fuck out of here, die.
Probably in bed with a cartel.
Unbelievable.
And they're gonna put him on the ground and fucking do him execution style.
Then
shoot in the back.
Shoot in the back. Right again. Anyway, next one. Did we do Armored Core?
Oh no, we didn't do Armored Core.
Okay, Armored Core was good. That was really fun.
Look, if Keanu Reeves is somehow creating a multiverse in video games and movies, like I don't care. He's in Cyberpunk as Johnny Silverhands. He's in this Armored Core short as this character. It's just the pilot. I'm like, let me find out. Keanu.
Yeah, he was like they obviously rendered him based off of Keanu himself, because he was just like a really scrawny Keanu. Yeah. Like I didn't even need to hear him talk to be like, that's Keanu.
That's
Reeves.
Keanu.
That's Keanu Reeves. And it was really interesting too, like because I played Armored Core back in the day. Like it was really fun being able to like make your mech however you wanted. Yeah, and like upgrade it throughout the time. And I mean, this was like early shit. So like you were going through these big empty gray hollow areas, and another mech would come out, and you would just be 1v1 in this bitch, like hoping you got the right one. It makes me think of the other. What is the name of that one? That was a strategy game with mechs. Not Xenogears. It was an actual strategy game. Like you could build each of the mechs. It had a story, but then you get into fights, and you could build each mech, and like to the point where you had the legs and you'd make each arm and decide what power core you wanted. You could color them, decide what you wanted them to look like. So like you get in, you're like, all right, this is my main. This guy has all the defense, so he's gonna go first. This is my long range. She's got the sniper rifle, and she has good jump, so she can get up high and then snipe. And it's like, I love those type of strategy games where you're like Final Fantasy Tactics kind of.
Oh yeah.
But with
what was the name of that game?
Shit, what was the name?
I feel like I feel like I might have played it at some point.
All right, I'm gonna do me a Googs. You keep talking about
Keanu and his mech.
Keanu and what happened in this episode.
So Keanu plays the pilot, and he has a voice in his head, and he's at a bar, and then he lashes out at somebody who touches his shoulder, and apparently the voice in his head is like, "Bro, that's not your enemy. He's actually your friend." And Keanu's like, "This guy, my friend?" It's like, "Yeah, he's a minimal threat. Stop." So he's like, "Yeah, okay, whatever." But like, he smashes dude in the face with his freaking beer mug, and just it's crazy. It's a crazy start.
Front mission.
Front mission. I don't know if I ever heard of front mission.
I think that was it. Because front mission was the one where you could, customize your characters just like in the Armor Core series, but like it was. I think that's it. I'm pretty sure that was it. Like it was a tactical strategy RPG, and that's the good shit right there. Or maybe it was Mech Warrior.
Could be.
Fuck. Anyways, okay. I'm sorry. I got distracted because I'm like, God damn it! Like, I loved that game. They need to make more games like that because there hasn't been a good strategy game like that in such a long time. Such a long time. It's so fun.
Well, I'll put it to you like this. This Armor Core episode is short. It's like maybe 19 minutes too, but it tells a great story. Keanu delivers a great performance. His mech is called Screecher.
Mm-hmm.
And I tell you what, that shit is fast, has an energy blade, has a freaking huge shotgun that he uses.
Yep.
And he uses every bit of that mech to perfection. And then at the end of it, after he fights like 5 fucking mechs, he makes the realization that they were all just like him, made in the same way. And the last guy is like, "Help," and he's just like reaches out his hand,
squishes his fucking head.
I was like, bro, that shit is so fucking dark for the. And he's like,
yes,
no,
there's no one like
me.
Yeah, and then you knew afterwards, like he gonna fuck all of them up.
No, the worst part, as he says that, the voice says, "No one's like us," as they shrink into the darkness in Screecher, and all you see is the 4 red eyes. I was like, oh shit. If they made that a DLC, that shit would be so fucking hard.
So good.
So
good.
Fucking hard.
Like, I like that each one of these two kind of brings about an emotion. With you. Like that one's kind of like a shock and awe. And then you got like Crossfire was like kind of makes you think like, oh, what's going on? What's happening?
Like
Pac-Man Circle.
No, for Crossfire, I was like, in a combat situation, it doesn't matter what side you're on, you don't see yourself as the bad guy.
Yeah, and that's what makes the best villains, anyways. Correct. Is like I've always said, you go in with like, I have an idea of how I should do things, but somebody else says, status quo wise, that's not the way to go about it. Yeah, but you're like, I don't give a fuck what you think. If I don't do this, the world's going to stay the same. Yeah. And so it's just like each one had its own way of thinking about it. And like, I only say that because like then the next one on number 9 is the Outer Worlds.
Oh God.
Because that makes you just feel sad because this poor kid, like he lives in a shithole.
Yeah, he's orphaned. He's doing trash duty. So anything that like any shit that comes in and gets scrapped, he's basically just looking for parts. And
something that could be worthwhile in all the trash. Yeah. And then like if he gets a good keep, he gets money for it. Yeah. And it's enough to like barely keep him alive.
Vita Girl looks terrible.
Yes. And he was so excited. Like this kid was just like irritatingly positive. Like I don't want to know this kid at all. I don't want to see this kid in any way because I'd be like, all right, it's been 10 seconds and I already am annoyed as shit by you. Please get the fuck away.
I want to beat you into the ground right now.
Yeah.
You're so fucking positive.
Yeah. But watching him from the outside, you're like, oh, this poor kid. Like he loses his arms and his fucking legs.
All because of a poster and the name on the poster.
Because he was trying to get to his girl.
Yep. Felicity Caro.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for Felicity, poor Amos would not have lost any limbs.
Yeah, and I haven't played The Outer Worlds, but I remember seeing gameplay for it. It looks like it almost looks like a Borderlands-esque thing.
Okay.
But I don't know. I mean, I know it's a shooter, but it's not like Call of Duty shooter. It's more like, again, like Borderlands. Like you're going around and there's bad guys everywhere. You gotta tactically. Yeah. But I don't know for sure. I could be totally wrong in that. But he goes as a product tester.
Yeah.
To
terrible products to be tested.
Yeah. Terrible products, and these people have they don't give a shit about any person.
I'm sorry. When I heard antacid, I was like, "Oh, it's for your stomach." All right, so we're gonna put the cream on, and then you're gonna put the acid on, and see how long it takes.
Yeah, tell me how much it hurts and how fast how long it takes. Like the fuck?
It worked for like 3 seconds, and then it stopped. I'd give it a 5. A 4?
Yeah, it's like his hand is eaten away, and they still put the robot hand on it. Yeah, and he has and they give him the new arm, and then they give him a pill that's like, all right, you need to go under the water and then take a deep breath.
Apparently, it's supposed to help you breathe underwater.
Yeah. And he's like, go underwater and take a deep breath.
How many more tests before I see the lead scientist?
Yeah. And then he ends up seeing her because he meets her and she's doing shady shit. And he's like, can I talk to the boss and tell them that she's doing shady shit? And then he gets there and she's the boss. Yep.
She literally, after the third test, where his arm gets eaten by a fucking animal.
I think it was the fourth test because he was all legs and
robot
legs. Oh no, that's right. He did. You're right. You're right.
Yep. It was the third one because that's when he lost the other arm.
Yeah. And then I don't know. It was she just wanted to better her own life, which I kind of get. If you're in that position in the world where there's everything is literal shit, and you have to find whatever you can to find joy. If I have to take everyone down, so I go up just a little bit,
it's the dog eat dog world.
I mean, you're literally in a dog-eat-dog world. You're living in a world of trash. There is no happiness. Here, at least, I can pretend to be happy for a little while. I have my own space. But they didn't even have that. He was sleeping in fucking trash. There was nothing. Nothing.
So, super depressing episode.
And then he ends up just being like, it's fine. I'll go back to digging trash.
The man was literally still on Numa, sweeping.
Yeah.
Nothing, but his limbs were all robotic. His midsection was a little robotic. It was just his head and some of his torso.
He just lost everything because she had the great idea of making everybody a test subject. Instead of just choosing regular test subjects.
We're going to stop testing and just give the product to people and see what happens.
Yeah. That was her grand idea to.
Gross.
And he was like, this is bullshit. You shouldn't do that.
Yeah, it's terrible. It's fucking terrible.
But it's not like anyone on that freaking earth could afford to get anything anyways. That place is a shithole.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, let's move on. That was so terrible.
Yeah, that was sad. So that's what I said. Everything gives you some sort of emotion. And then Mega Man is
one of the shortest, and I hate to say it, it's because it's so short. I didn't get to see one of the characters I love the most.
I mean, what, Proto Man?
I would have loved to see Proto Man. I would have loved to see Gutsman.
I mean, honestly, I was just mad because I was like, man, I really want to see a good animated Mega Man fight scene.
And you barely.
There wasn't.
No. You get to see Rock right before he becomes Mega Man. You get to see him by the end of the episode be Mega Man, but this episode is only 8 minutes long. So you see him before he's Mega Man defeat Bomb Man, who is corrupted by one of Wily's small corruptor bots or whatever.
Yeah.
You see him literally take it out, almost kill Dr. Light in the process. Then when the bot tries to take him over, he has enough willpower to stop it and kill it. And then he gets suited up as Mega Man, gets teleported to a building, puts on his helmet, and that's the end of the episode. Yeah. There's nothing in it.
Yeah, he does the teleport, like the and then he appears on top of the corner of the building, like the beginning of most of the Mega Man episode, or at least two, where they like go up the building and he's on top, like with his helmet off and his hair blowing in the breeze.
Yeah.
But like, no, they don't give you any of the solid Mega Man action. And I was like, this is the episode that really emits an emotion of disappointment.
Yeah. As much as I wanted to see more, I was so sad that it was so short.
Yeah, me too. When it ended there, I was so pissed.
This is an iconic character. Why would you do it? Why would you do it so short?
Yeah, you had all these other fucking whatever games that have a specific niche, but like fucking Mega Man, he's gonna be on my tattoos, motherfucker.
Like not even that. Like you gave Pac-Man no story, no anything, but you gave him a whole crazy arc, double the time.
Yeah.
But you can do that for Mega Man, an iconic character.
Like they've continued to make Mega Man games that is not the classic Mega Man style.
That's perfectly fine, but I mean they've done spin-offs like the Net games and stuff like that.
That's what I'm saying. Like they've done I don't need spin-offs. Like I want 8 bad guys to beat, and then I beat them, and then I go to the end, and I have to fight all the bad guys again in a row and beat them all, and then go through the 3 ending boss stages to get to Dr. Wily, and then we just end it there. Yeah. And I'd be fine. Make it a $10, $15 game, done. That's fine.
But you didn't do that.
No, they didn't do that. No, they didn't do that. They don't do that anymore. They make all these new bullshit games. I don't need a long-ass game. If you give me a quality-ass short game, I'm still going to be content. I would rather play an hour and a half of a quality game than 40 hours of a bullshit game. Anyways, that was Mega Man.
Yeah. So short-lived, and I just wish there would have been more.
Yeah. The next one is Exodus Odyssey, which this one gives you another feeling of sadness.
Oh, yeah.
Because this poor guy is following his daughter because he's trying to save her, even though he does all this crazy shit to get to her.
So what I liked about this episode was the whole time dilation where you use warp or you don't use warp. Using warp keeps your time low, whereas not using warp, it's elongated. So over the whole time span, his daughter goes from being a teenager to being an older woman. Or just about
when
the
he
same
finally
age
finds her,
her dad.
Yeah, she's almost like older than him.
Yeah.
At that point.
All because she wanted to go on an adventure.
Yeah.
She didn't want to stay in the same place.
She was in a fucking adventure for 30-something years.
Yeah.
Like, she found her fucking adventure. But then afterwards, they kind of make it out like her dad is going to be an adventurer himself.
Yeah, but at least he has a warp to get around.
He does have a warp.
So whereas every traversal of space for her took forever, it only took him a couple of years. So he wasn't aging as fast as she was.
Mm-hmm. And then, he goes onto the enemy alien vessel and gives himself over, so that he becomes it was like indentured servitude or something, basically, in the hopes that if they catch her, he can do something. That's
exactly what happens. And he blows the freaking engine of the big ship up just so she can escape. But she's still mortally wounded.
Yeah.
So he still has to watch his daughter die.
But he gets a couple days before she passes away.
So he gets to know everything that she knew, at least.
Yeah. And then he goes back to the original place who gave him the loan, and he pays it back to her granddaughter
with interest.
Yeah. And and I just thought that was really cool. It's all right, her dad is a really cool guy. Granted, he based his entire life off of his daughter. Yeah. But look, as parents, I understand when they're young, you want to do that, but you have to understand being a good parent is important, but you have to still exist when your kids are gone. Sorry. That's life. It took me a long time to figure that out.
I think my issue with him as a father was he was not willing to allow his daughter the ability to be her own person. He was like, you're going to stay here with me. That's just how that's going to be.
And he was
left.
He did a 30-year journey to punish her. She's going to be grounded when I find her. Oh, just you wait.
Yeah, sorry, sir. No. No.
But that one was actually really good. This one told a really good story.
Yeah, again, again, the runtime was longer, so you had time to actually tell a story. Not be like, this is just the origin. That is all. You get nothing else. No big fights. Just, he blew up. Mega Man.
Mm-hmm. We're looking at you, Capcom.
Sad.
Anyways, next
Spelunky.
one. Spelunky. I still enjoyed this game. I like this game. I was wondering how they were going to make this into a story. They 100% did it like real life. Like, you die that many times when you play this game. When you're learning it.
This girl was like so hyped. Ooh, I'm immortal. Doesn't matter how many times I die. Spelunky is in my blood. And then as time goes on, her soul is broken by 86.
Yeah, it was.
She was like 86 times.
Yeah, and then you see the walls that her friend had marked.
Yeah,
and here she was like, "Oh, they're fucking everywhere." Like, this lady has died a bajillion times. Like, it's. But honestly, if I was that little girl, honestly, if I was that little girl, I'd be doing the same shit.
I mean, yeah, but she did it with like such reckless abandon.
Yeah, she did it with reckless abandon, stupidity.
But like every time it would be a different path. So it never led the same way. So I'm like, it didn't matter how much you learned from one run, it was never going to be the same run ever.
Yeah, but that was the thing with Spelunky too. It's like every time you play, that's the thing. It's always a random level. Like, it's never the same. That's why it was fun to play over and over again, because like, if the level may be shaped a little different, you might find different items this time, but like the enemies were always the same. The monsters were always, so it was like you gradually learned what to look out for and what to avoid, what to get, what not to get. Like, it went on and on and on. Like, it was really fun. If you get a chance to play Spelunky, you definitely should. It's a free game. The original is 2D and not really the prettiest like the Xbox version, but it's free online. You can find it for free and play it however much you want. It's a really good quality ass game. I think it's an independent game too.
Okay.
Which is good.
Support your indies.
Yeah, support your indies, son. Hi. All right, so the next one is number 13, Concord, Tale of the Implacable.
So this is basically like a band of space pirates who come across knowledge of a map of the warps across the galaxy that can lead them anywhere and everywhere in the galaxy.
Yeah, because right now I'm sorry, I didn't mean to.
The guild. No, you're good. Continue.
I was saying right now, like, the world is monopolized by one company that knows the safe route through the galaxies, because like at the very beginning they talk about all the different ways you could die warping in an area you don't know. And so like
getting lost in space, running out of fuel.
Yeah, so the only safe spots are made by this one place, and they are the only ones who know the safe spots, so they have a monopoly on it. So if you take those routes, like, they own you. And nobody knows the routes. And so these space pirates find something that they think is just like a map of one of the routes. No, it's all of them.
And see, the funny part, they just thought it was like a couple of routes or like a route. No, every fucking route.
Yeah, and so it seems like they try and do like a betrayal back and forth. You think like someone's going to betray the captain because they're trying to get away. And then all of the armada chases them. And is like, we're going to fucking kill you if you don't give us those routes. And so they're like, you give us the routes and that captain, and we'll give you this much money, and you can get away. All of the rest of you can get away.
The funniest part is that the new guy. No, it was the new guy who was actually going to do it.
Yeah.
But then
because the other ones pretended
the sniper
that they were going to do it.
Sure, hey, I want to live. Let's do this together. And as soon as he get one hand is cut, he's like, yeah,
that's fine.
That.
He's like, just one hand. I don't want to get sucked out the airlock. And he's like, what?
Sucked out the airlock. And he's like, all right, let's do this. The funniest, I mean, it's the craziest episode. It's not short, I think it's, again, unlike Mega Man, double the time to give you the whole story.
Mm-hmm. But it does tell you a good story too, because they're like, at the end, they're like, you know what? We can't use this, but we can save everyone else. And they send it to everyone.
I
was like, hell yeah.
It's a big fuck you to big companies who like put all this monopolization on single things.
Yeah. Fuck everyone else. Like,
fuck that. So they were just like, again, rebellion.
Yeah, rebellion. Woo! Rebel.
And in the end of the episode, they're just like, oh, they couldn't have survived. They couldn't have.
But they had the little keychain.
Yep. So they're like, yeah.
And he's like, this is a real thing. Yeah. And I did like the little alien when she was dressed up in the little outfit, and I did not see the guns coming.
Oh yeah, in the hands.
I did not, in the hands. She was like holding them forward, like this, and all you see is the big fist, and you're like, "What the fuck is that?" And she's like, "But they were like, this is the contingency plan." I'm like, she's just standing there. What's the big? Bam, 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 bam. I was like, "Oh."
Okay, yeah, she wanted to go out in a blaze of glory, and literally that's what she said every time.
Yeah, blaze of glory time. Yeah, that was good.
Like, why? Why do you go in a blaze of glory?
She was a fucking axolotl person. So what can
you say? Exactly. I mean, not terrible looking. I mean, if I was alien women's, sure, why not? She's got a can-do attitude.
I mean, I guess what can you do with those tentacles?
What those tentacles do?
What those titties, girl, do?
Oh no.
Anyways, so the next one, number 14, is Honor of Kings. And this one, I thought it was a cool concept.
It is a really cool concept. A living city, and this guy blames the city for killing his parents. So he goes as the city is like, it looks like it's falling apart, like it's not doing what it's supposed to do.
Yeah, they said the city is going crazy.
Yeah, so he's like, all right, cool. I'm gonna challenge the city, and I'm going to take over the position of the city.
Yeah, but like the city opened up the offer too. He was like, anyone can come and beat me, but I see the future and I see the past and I see everything. So I don't know how you're expecting to beat me.
So, the funny thing is, like when he gets to the actual, I guess, fort, the palace of the city, like people outside are people who have gone against the city and lost, and they've lost their minds, so they're like a little crazy.
Yeah, and so like
guy, and the guy's like, "What are you doing? You shouldn't go in there." It's like, "Nah, man, I'm going up in there. I got shit I got to do." Dude's like, "You'll go crazy. You'll go bad."
Yeah, we get it. We get it, buddy. It's fine.
Okay, calm down.
But he does the like, I don't know. I the ending kind of was confusing to me. Honestly, I thought they were trying to do like a guess what, this is always happening sort of deal. But then, like, are they? Like, I thought he won, or was this just in his head? Like,
so from what I took from it is that as they're playing the game, it's not only a game of them in the moment, it's also a game of the city. So like things are being moved around, shifted, and happening inside the city as they're playing the game. So as the city loses control with the winning of the opponent, the city's slightly falling apart. Because
it's like every time he takes one of his pieces, it destroys a part of the city.
Right.
Yeah.
So before the main guy changes his strategy, which I think his name was Yi Xing.
Yeah.
The name of the city
Yi
is
Xing. Yeah.
And the name of the city is the Tiangong. So before the end, the Tiangong actually tells him how his parents died. And his parents died not because of the city, but because they chose to sacrifice themselves to save their child.
Mm-hmm.
And that changes his strategy completely in the way he plays this game that they're playing. So it goes from, okay, cool, they sacrificed themselves, guess what I'm going to do? I'm gonna sacrifice myself. So he just starts losing on purpose, and the Tien Gong is like, bro, what the fuck are you doing? Stop it.
Yeah, and he's like, it's fine. We're destroying parts of the city. I'll destroy the part that's us.
Yep.
He's like, that's the goal.
He's like, fuck, fine.
He's,
I concede.
Yeah.
Tien Gong actually concedes power, gives it to the Yijing, and then Yijing literally walks out of the palace looking like pretty badass in his new outfit. I was like, all right, bro.
Because like they show a bridge being made, but then it's like slowly falling apart when it gets made.
Beginning. Yeah,
but then like when he makes the bridge, it like goes up and it's strong and it's straight. But then he walks like out of the city, and then at the end for some reason it comes back to he's like, I'm the city of Tien Gong. I see you're here to fight me, and I'm like, what? But he did like walk out of the city when he won.
Yeah,
but you're like,
I'm pondering like, is Yijing using that visage now as his avatar outside of, himself?
Yeah, like, or did he actually lose, and
or
did he win? And the city was like, yeah, or has it always been that way that they say people have lost, but they haven't really,
right?
Or I don't know. I don't mind a question. One really like, oh man, did he? Didn't he? But this one felt like it left so many questions. I was like, you got to choose one, guys. Like, give me some solid answers somewhere.
Can we get a continuation?
Yeah, give me a continuation. What happened afterwards? Like, what happened to him?
Yeah, what's all the details?
Don't leave the entire thing up in the air. Answer one question. Answer a question, because we had all these questions, and by the end of it, we're like, cool, we got more questions now. This doesn't answer shit.
Yeah, so I mean, like I said, it basically feels like it basically predicted how that was going to go, and even though it was acting like, oh, I didn't know that was going to happen.
Okay,
it let it happen.
All right, I'm looking at the Wikipedia now.
Uh-huh.
All right, and it says, in the end, Tien Gong exits its palace, implying that what had just transpired was likely it predicting the future, and speaks to the camera, repeating the phrase, "You're here to challenge the Tien Gong." So that was just like what's going to happen. So that still doesn't answer shit for me, but I mean, again, I feel like that's sort of like, that's a better answer than what I fucking had. Like, I had nothing. I mean, I did like his quote, like, okay, well, if me killing your parents was inevitable, like, if your parents drowned in the tide, would you go into a fight against the moon? And he's like, yep. And I was like,
oh yeah, he was about it.
But he brought up a good point though. It's like, are you going to be mad at the water for drowning them?
Like,
he's like,
yeah, like,
fuck you, water. Yeah.
Like, what if the attack hadn't happened in the Tien Gong? What if it hadn't, like, just out in the field? Would you have been mad at Earth itself?
Would you been mad at the at a vacuum of space if they died from lack of breathing in space?
Yes.
I'm so angry at nothing.
Chop,
literally
chop
nothing. It's a vacuum of space.
Chop at the emptiness.
It's literally nothing.
Chop. Yeah. Gonna set space on fire.
Fuck space. I'm gonna kill space. Fuck you, vacuum. Waka.
Terrible.
All right, and the last one. Which is the
funniest.
It is the funniest.
And it has the most cameos.
Yes. It has the most cameos of different video games in it. Like, they got Sackboy.
Sackboy. They have Kratos.
Kratos from God of War, which, by the way, is a really good game. The newer ones and the older ones.
And the Shadow Colossus.
Yes, Shadow of the Colossus, which I feel bad paying $50 for back in the day. But it was a fun game for the short little bit that it was there.
There you
go. What else was on there? Because there was a lot.
It really wasn't that much when you look at it. I mean, it's like 4 big cameos.
And it kind of cracked me up and reminded me of like a lot of shit when he was like, if you finish this delivery, you'll get a legendary item. And she's like, yeah. And she already had an orange bike. And he's like, now you get burnt orange. And she's like, you fucking serious right now? And she's like, you'll get an amazing legendary bicycle upgrade. But you know what? Honestly, if they ever make something like that, I gotta 100% see like DoorDash doing some shit like that. Like, I mean, everything doing some bullshit like that. Everything would have. It was like it's like your phones. Like it would be a buddy bot that was like, "Hey,
Oh yeah,
like you're doing some shit, and your buddy bot whispers in your ear, "Hey, this ad is brought to you by Geico." Fuck you're like, "Fuck you, buddy bot. Get the fuck out of here."
do you know
If
who
you-
put the buddy bot?
If you listen to this ad, you'll get a legendary skin in your real life.
Woo!
Anyways,
Fucking Kevin Hart played that.
of course it was. Of course it was. Oh god! And then he gets mad because he's like, somebody didn't read the user license agreement.
Bro.
Oh my god, that shit. It was really good though. Like it was really well animated, and I didn't fully understand like what the fuck was going on.
So apparently the conduit was not only her being able to access all these crazy things with her bike and of herself, but it was also accessing her memories. So when she went back to her childhood home, where she was an orphan, yeah, she was like, oh, it all makes sense now. The conduit was leading her back to her childhood, where she played these games.
Yeah, and then she goes back to like another version of the city.
It's just like everything that had come after her was just like, oh yeah, we cool, man. I knew she was gonna be all right, man. She was good. The Helldivers talking to themselves. The guy who gave her the package was a Shadow Colossus the whole time.
Yeah,
Kratos was cool with her. I'm like, so you've been living in a video game city the entire time?
Yeah,
like
is that
all these things exist in the city?
Like, was it a real thing or wasn't it?
Dude transformed into Shadow Colossus again as they were doing a second run of her basically playing like, I guess, big city tag with game characters.
I didn't fully.
It was fun.
I mean, it was still fun. It's fun
so
if you don't think about the details. It was fun. That was cool.
Just be like, ooh, she's got a motorcycle instead of a bike now. Ooh, it's a fucking flying jet thing.
Yeah,
ooh.
Now it's a tentacled running monster. What the fuck is happening?
Awkward. Like, all right, cool. Now she's got wings. Awesome.
Yeah, I do. Fucking. It's just a big like running sequence. It was a chase sequence.
She was her own main character in her game, and she could have any capability or ability that she wanted.
Mm-hmm.
So awesome.
Yeah. Anyways, so I think that we've gone through all of Secret Level.
Yeah, so first episode was only five episodes, and our second episode of Secret Level got through the rest 10. So
yeah, so I mean, what do you think of the whole thing?
As a whole, season 1 is amazing. They've already been greenlit for season 2. Mm-hmm. I just wish they would have done more with Mega Man.
Yep, they need to do some more.
That's my biggest regret.
Me too. With this one I wanted to see some Mega Man fights. Just give me one good fight with Mega Man as Mega Man.
Shit. Give me Proto Man. Give me Bass.
Give me Zero.
A little far in the future for that one.
Yeah, I know, but still, because we're not doing the we're not doing the Mega Man X.
Yeah. Give me like him versus Proto Man.
I mean, you could do where they got Rock and they need Roll.
Yep.
And there needs to be the dog. I can't remember his name for some reason.
Same.
I was trying to think of his name.
Was it Dash? No.
The red dog was. I remember you could like ride on him and like all that shit. What the fuck was his name? Rush. Rush.
Was it Rush? Really?
Pretty sure it's Rush.
Okay.
But Google it. Because I'm not 100%.
Yes, you're correct, sir.
Aha! Woo!
Rock, roll,
Kev
and
do
Rush.
good. Kev do good.
Hold on. So it's rock and roll, and we're talking about Rush, the band?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure there's a yes somewhere too.
Oh, see, at my old age now, I'm coming to put these things together.
And then they're going up against Queen.
Stop. No.
Okay. I think that we've put in enough time with this one.
Yeah, I do believe so.
But also, Merry Christmas, everybody.
Merry
It's
freaking
fucking
Christmas. It
Christmas
is Christmas Day. And
that we're
I feel
dropping
like
this.
I feel like we should have started with a Merry Christmas, but hey.
We should have, but honestly, like my Christmas spirit has been pretty diminished this year.
It has not been.
I didn't even put up my Christmas tree until 3 days ago.
I have no tree up.
And as of this recording, it's the 22nd. So I put up my Christmas tree 3 days ago. That was the 19th. So my kids, they be slacking. But I got the gifts. I had the gifts ready in November. It's just the tree.
We've had gifts ready. It's just the urge to decorate has not been there.
Yeah. I have not had the urge to decorate.
Just now.
But you know what? I hope that everyone who listens to this has a amazing Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays, whatever you celebrate. Just
Kwanzaa,
be
Hanukkah,
happy, spend
whatever.
the time with your family.
That's right.
And thank you for everyone who works on Christmas, because that is some bullshit, and I'm sorry.
Super sorry, y'all.
I'm really sorry, but we appreciate you.
You guys are amazing.
When I need to go, I appreciate you. But anything else you want to say, Jay? Christmas spirit.
That's right, Christmas spirit. There's no bah humbugs here. You guys have a merry, happy holiday, no matter what you are celebrating. And you know what? We love you guys, period.
That means our next episode is going to be New Year's.
Yep. It really is going to be New Year's. Fuck.
Yeah. Fuck!
So if you have a New Year's message that you would like to leave us,
we'll totally read that shit.
Yeah, email us at KJandAPodcast@gmail.com.
Usually, I'm sorry, go ahead. I keep interrupting. I'm sorry.
Find us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Threads, Bluesky, TikTok, YouTube, Patreon, where you can find 6 hours of bonus footage. And don't forget, buy me a coffee /KJandAPodcast. Donate
Twitch
podcast and eat. And don't forget us on Twitch, because we're actually streaming now. You can find me at JWhatDo and Kevin on our main KJandAPodcast.
And also, don't forget to look up Game Corps and Tech for Troops.
That's right.
Because it's a good cause.
Good cause. We want to keep our veterans happy, healthy, and with us after their deployments. So find us, find them, and if you do join Game Corps on our Discord, have fun. Play games.
Yeah.
Talk.
Join us on our stream and we'll just shoot the shit. That's all it's
Facts.
there for.
Facts.
That's all we want to do. So anyways.
Kevin, what else you got to say?
That's it. Usually our New Year's one is when we talk about what our plans for the year are. So that'll probably be our next episode.
All right. So next episode, we will come at you with some plans of streamings and episodes and such.
Yeah, what we're thankful for the year before, what our plans are for the future, etc., etc., etc.
Boutros, golly.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you so much for listening to us. We love you.
Good night, folks.